25 years old. Not very aged when we consider the lengthy traditions of our other two services, but what a lot has been crammed into that brief life. What a wealth of service has been rendered by the Royal Air Force in those 25 years. Already our airmen have established Britain's supremacy in the skies. Already, having played a big part in winning one world war, they're playing a bigger part than ever in winning this one. How short a time it seems since these early fighting planes first hit the headlines of the world's press. Incidentally, these last war pictures have been preserved by the Imperial War Museum. As for the men, first of the Royal Flying Corps and Royal Naval Air Service, and later of the new Unified Air Command, the RAF, they haven't changed, except in their newer technique. The keenness and the courage with which they established our air supremacy in 1918 was the same as that which is establishing our supremacy now. Cooperation with the Army was their chief work then, and the fame of many of those early pilots is remembered today. Billy Bishop, VC, for example. And coastal patrols. How different that short seaplane is from its mighty modern counterpart, the Sunderland. How insignificant those bombs look compared with today's 8,000-pounders. But the purpose was the same, and the courage was the same. When the last war ended, our superiority over the Germans was overwhelming. In 1918, we had over 22,000 aircraft, including a first-line strength of more than 3,000. That was the first period of the RAF's predominance. With peace, of course, came a drastic curtailment of RAF strength. The Royal Air Force, under Lord Trenchard's lead, concentrated on quality of men and aircraft to compensate for the lack of numbers which the political mentality of that time ordained. For most of us at home, the work of the RAF was typified by the Hendon pageants. Year by year, we traced the technical development of the RAF by the new aerobatics, by the new planes on show. The last pageant was held in 1937, and only a year earlier we'd had a first glimpse of some of the types which were to play so large a part in the early stages of this war. The Wellington, still in action on most of the world's battlefronts, the Whitley, destined to pay several visits to Berlin, Cam's Hurricane, and Mitchell's immortal Spitfire. The Schneider Trophy was won outright in 1931 by the high-speed flight in planes which formed the basis of our present fighter design. This achievement, as well as the other records which the RAF collected, proved that research had gone on uninterrupted, and that Britain's planes were still the best in the world. Meanwhile, ominous events had been taking shape in Germany. The Luftwaffe had been created, and as the war clouds gathered, pictures of Hitler's mighty air force came in thick and fast, formidable by weight of numbers alone. Then came war. The RAF went to France. Hopelessly outnumbered, they fought back gamely as the tide of German triumph spread. Holland, Belgium, France, Dunkirk. At last, the Air Force had a chance. Outnumbered, but not outclassed, they played a big part in the successful evacuation. In spite of early restrictions, names crept into the news. They were the air aces of this war. First came Cobber Kane of New Zealand, and later, of course, Paddy Finucane, both worthy successors to Bishop, McCulloch and Ball, as were Stamford Tuck of the Burma Squadron, and Mungo Park, and later the hero of the Augsburg raid, Nettleton, to mention but a very few. But the big trial of strength was yet to come. When it did, the Nazis had a second taste of RAF quality. That's why they lost the Battle of Britain. Quality, certainly not quantity. But today the story is different. Quantity has once again been added to our undisputed superiority of men and machines. Overwhelming forces of bomber command hit the enemy where it hurts most. By night over industrial centers, and in daring low-level attacks by day. No longer need our fighters concentrate on defending our own shores. They sweep over the channel, beating the enemy from his own skies and shooting up ground targets. Mustangs of Army Cooperation Command, too, are on the offensive, smashing up fortifications and destroying communications. And at the same time, Coastal Command carries out its unspectacular duties, convoy protection and anti-U-boat patrols, to mention only two. On all the world's battlefronts, the RAF has shown its mettle. In the Far East, in Russia, and in the Middle East, where Army cooperation has reached a new peak to which the Eighth Army's successes bear witness. Yes, the RAF has gone a long way since that other war. Then, as now, our fighters ruled the skies, clearing the air and enabling our bombers to deal the enemy increasingly severe blows. Our bombers carried out their deadly work then, as now, whatever the difficulties, whatever the odds. Then, as now, Royal Air Force personnel was the finest in the world.
We're all in this business together. We're going to win through together. And I bring you a message from Australia of pride in what you've done and of hope and confidence in the future. And I'm going back to Australia to tell them the job you are doing here. So far as Australia's concerned, I don't want to say more. That the position there is improving and has improved, and it's going to improve. And everything you do here in your job is going to help us there. Good luck to you all, and God bless you.
Among officers present on this Australian occasion was Flight Lieutenant Watson, a new Australian DFC. And Squadron Leader Paddy Finucane, with 2 DSOs and 3 DFCs, the RAF's fighter pilot ace from Ireland. Also, Group Captain Atchley, the famous Schneider Trophy pilot. Unmatched in courage and endurance, skill and keenness, they've won imperishable fame. The names on their battle honors ranged from Russia to the desert, from the Battle of Britain to the Battle of the Atlantic. Per ardua ad astra, through endeavor to the stars. That's the RAF's motto, a motto that has inspired them in 2 wars, a motto that will continue to inspire them long after this war is a matter for history books, long after the war has been won.